Welcome! Thank you for joining us for today's lesson. This is part of a 13-lesson series brought to you by the Food Trust Nutrition Educators. The Food Trust works to ensure that everyone has access to affordable, nutritious food and the information to make healthy choices. In this series, we'll be covering topics such as how to shop at a farmer's market, stretching your food dollars, storing fruits and vegetables, and more. Join us every other week as we share nutrition information from My Plate, as well as tips and tricks to eating more healthy food at every meal. Each bi-weekly lesson will be followed by a recipe featuring a seasonal ingredient you can find at your local farmer's market or grocery store. Meet our nutrition educators, who you'll get to know through our lessons or recipe demonstrations. We're excited to have you with us. Thanks again for joining us. Please fill out our anonymous survey at the end of this video so that we can find out more about who we're reaching and how to serve our audience best. We hope you come back for our next lesson. See you then!
I'm Lauren, a SNAP-Ed nutrition educator with the Food Trust. In today's lesson, we're going to talk all about how to save money while shopping for groceries. At the end of this lesson, I'll be making a delicious recipe using fresh seasonal produce that you can find at your local farmer's market. Have you ever been to a farmer's market? You can find a list of our markets at the link below on the Food Trust website. So before we get started on today's lesson, let's review what we talked about last week. Last week, we learned all about My Plate. First things first, we want to make sure we're getting 2 cups of fruits and 3 cups of vegetables every day. Whether it's fresh, frozen, canned, or dried, all of it helps us reach our nutrition goals. We also learned that half the time we go to eat foods that are made from grains, they are whole grain foods because those whole grains are so good for our hearts. So those foods can be oatmeal, brown rice, or whole wheat bread. Another great thing we learned is that when we want to eat protein foods, we want to go for good lean proteins. Things like turkey, chicken, fish, seeds, nuts, or beans are all great options. Lastly, we're looking to have 3 cups of dairy every day. And if you're looking to avoid dairy, you could also have an equal amount of calcium-rich foods. That could mean milk, cheese, or yogurt. And if you're looking to avoid dairy, that could also mean dark leafy greens or some calcium fortified foods such as non-dairy milks or certain breads. Now that we know a little bit more about these food groups, we can talk about how to save money when buying them. First things first, think of all the things you already do to save money at the grocery store. Maybe you shop around. Maybe you use coupons, or maybe you use a store card to get extra savings. Luckily, all these things you do at the conventional grocery store, you can also do at the farmer's market to save money. For instance, let's think, what is the first thing you do before you head out the door to go to the grocery store? That's right, you make a list. Yep, you look through your pantry, your refrigerator, your freezer, and you see what you already have and what you can work with. Now that you know you have, all you have to do is plan a meal using those ingredients. Then you just need to write down anything that you might be missing that you can get from the farmer's market, and you're ready to go. Maybe, for example, you already have pasta and pasta sauce. Well, you're almost all the way to a good meal. Maybe you just want to pick up some protein and vegetables from the farmer's market or grocery store. When we make a list and figure out what we already have, we make sure we're not wasting food or money. So once you're already at the farmer's market, what is another thing you can do to save money? That's That's right, you can shop around. If there are multiple vendors at the farmer's market, you can compare prices and items. So remember, when you're at the farmer's market, before you make any purchases, take a look around and see how you can maximize your budget. Plus, if you're using SNAP benefits or an access card, every $5 you spend at the farmer's market, you get $2 back in the form of food bucks that you can use on any fresh produce at the farmer's market. So what does it mean to shop in season, and what are the benefits? Well, shopping seasonally or buying food that is grown during this time of year can actually save you money because it's grown in abundance. It can also be more nutritious because this food gives our body exactly what it needs at this time of the year. For example, summer produce are often full of water, which help us stay hydrated during this hot time of year. All of these tips will definitely help you save money when you buy your groceries at the farmer's market. Now that you know a little bit about how to eat healthy on a budget, we're going to make a recipe using low-cost ingredients that you can get at the farmer's market.